All right, so I am going to do the multi-view drawing for this piece. So on this piece, you're going to see that you have 3 units by 2 units tall. So I always like to start my drawings by setting up overall boxes. You are not required to do that, but I do that so I align everything up because I will inevitably mess something up. So I start just with a crosshair, and I'm going to use for every 3 grid spaces is equal to 1 of these cubes. It'll make it 1 to 1 and really easy to see. So if I look, this is 2 blocks high, or it's going to be 6 units tall. So I can go ahead and draw a horizontal line 6 units tall. And then I'm also going to look, you're going to see it fits nicely in there. This is 3 units wide, so that is 9. So I'm just kind of grouping them in groups of 9. And I'm going to draw that vertically up. So this would be my front view, and I can see it fits nicely in here. Now you want to make sure that you're consistent with your grid spacing. I generally pick between 3 to 4. This time I'm going to pick 4 grid spacings. And so I'm going to draw a vertical line straight up. Okay? And then when I look at my side view from here, I see that it's 2 grid spacings, or that would be a total of, or 2 blocks, or a total of 6 grid spacings. I'll go ahead and place this in. Extend this just a tad and then get it all the way. Okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and set up this next, so I have my front view, my right side, and then I'm going to place my top. So once again, 4 grid spacings on this one. So I'll go ahead and project that line over. Okay, that's a little crazy. And then once I have that, so here's my front, I'm going to look, my top view has 2 units tall. So that's 6. Okay, and then I'll project this line over. Now, we do sometimes put a diagonal line in, and so I'll throw that in on this right here, just like so, so we can project items from the top to the right side. So if I get a chance, I'll show you that, but typically we also put that angled line in there. All right, now what we're going to do is I'm going to really draw my front view as I see it. So that tends to be a lot easier to do. And so I'll draw it first in here, and then I'll show you how I can project those lines onto the other views later. You can do this all in one shot when we draw our lines, but I'm going to show you right now how to do it just by drawing our front view first. So on this front view, I have this overall kind of little V shape, if you will. And then I need to put a square down here in the lower right hand corner. So this is the object right here. So what I'll do is I'll just take my red marker just so that we can see all of the object lines, so that we'll darken them in. Okay, and get my little cube right here. And what you should notice now is that this view and this view are now the same. So it's right on top. Now, because I now have these views or these new details, I can actually take my pencil and project this new line across to my right side view. And I can also, now it's a little crooked, so let me fix that. Okay, and then I can project these 2 new vertical lines straight up. This will help ensure that all of my lines are drawn correctly according to the orthographic projection. All right, One last thing we need to add is up on here. So on my top view, I do have a vertical horizontal line that'll go across this midpoint right here. So let's draw this in. And if I did this right, and I did, I could project this straight down to my side view. So we'll see the divisions here. So once I have this, now I can actually start using my red marker to draw in my object lines for this view up here. So I'm just going to set this right here so we can see it as I draw. I'm going to notice that I have kind of this L shape. So I'm going to draw the outline of the L shape first, because those are all of my object lines, and I'm going to look at the details that I have. So in this is my L shape. I notice that I have this top rectangle on top. Okay, so I need to make sure I show that off. So there's a line here, using that projected line there, and a line here. And now you're going to notice that my rectangle is being represented in the red, and my two cubes. All right, the next view we have to do is our last one, which is our right side. If I look at that, that is really just a tiny L shape. I already have my lines there from all the construction lines I added, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw the outline of this L shape, and then we'll look to see what kind of detail we need to add. Alright, so once we have this, now I have to look to see, do I need to add any more object lines? And the answer to that is no, but I do need to add a hidden line here to represent this edge. So that goes vertically down. And you're going to notice those are dash lines, those are hidden lines. And also a hidden line to represent the edge that cuts out right here. So that goes across this way. And now your part is done. We now have the correct orthographic projection of our piece right here.